Are you ready to dive back into the world of Iron Man? The Marvel Cinematic Universe hasn't been the same without Tony Stark's iconic character portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. After a legendary 13-year run, RDJ hung up his armor in Avengers Endgame, but Iron Man's legacy is far from over. In this video, we'll explore the journey of Tony Stark in the MCU, his incredible powers, and how his influence continues to shape the Marvel Universe. So Marvel fans, here's the burning question. What's next for Iron Man in the ever-expanding MCU? Let's find out. You know, when it comes to the MCU, we owe a lot to Robert Downey Jr., the guy who kicked it all off as Iron Man. I mean, Marvel is this giant name in the movie and streaming world now, and it's all thanks to the character Downey Jr. But now that he's not wearing the suit anymore, Marvel has to figure out where to take this beloved character next. Back in 2008, Jon Favreau took a huge risk by starting the whole MCU with Iron Man. And guess what? It was an instant superhero classic that still holds a special place in the hearts of Marvel fans today. But you know how it goes, right? Tony Stark's journey with his superhero pals like Captain America, Thor, Hulk, War Machine, and Spider-Man all came to a big epic conclusion in Avengers Endgame back in 2019. So what's next for Iron Man? That's the big question. Let's talk about how Tony Stark became the legendary Iron Man in the MCU. Tony Stark is the son of this super-rich scientist and businessman named Howard Stark. He inherits not just a family fortune, but also their big reputation and brains. Now, when we first meet Tony in Iron Man, he's this kinda eccentric billionaire industrialist who's around 30 years old, and here's where it all starts to get interesting. Tony finds himself in a tricky situation during a weapons demo in Afghanistan that goes horribly wrong. He gets stuck in the desert and ends up getting kidnapped by this shady organization called the 10 Rings. Things are looking pretty grim. But wait, it gets even crazier. You see, Tony almost gets killed by his own missiles when the 10 Rings ambush him. That's when he gets a lifesaver in the form of an artificial heart called the Arc Reactor. While he's still held captive, Tony's genius brain kicks into overdrive. He builds his very first Iron Man suit, breaks out of captivity, and somehow manages to find his way back to the good old USA. Now, Tony soon figures out that his so-called buddy and business partner, Obadiah Stane, played by Jeff Bridges, had a hand in getting him kidnapped and killed in Afghanistan. That's a serious betrayal. In response, Tony uses that arc reactor to power up an even better Iron Man suit and takes on Stane in an epic showdown. As Tony keeps rocking his Iron Man suits, he fully embraces his newfound fame and does something pretty bold. At the end of the first Iron Man movie, he publicly announces, "I am Iron Man." No secret identities for this guy. Iron Man becomes a massive hit, raking in over $500 million worldwide. It's so good that it spawns 2 sequels and eventually paves the way for the Avengers movies, including the mega-popular Avengers Infinity War, where we meet Thanos and his finger-snapping antics. And that's not all. Tony Stark keeps popping up in those post-credit scenes in other Marvel movies, dropping hints and leading the charge for the Avengers Initiative. He also takes on a sort of fatherly role for Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, after the whole Civil War thing in 2016. So yeah, Tony Stark's journey from billionaire playboy to humanitarian superhero is quite the ride before his end in the Endgame. Now let's chat about Iron Man's incredible strengths and abilities in the MCU. Tony Stark, thanks to his enormous fortune, had a whole bunch of powers at his disposal, not just the usual superhero stuff, but also things like social influence, political sway, and economic resources. When you're that loaded, the sky's the limit. Unlike some superheroes, Tony Stark didn't have any fancy innate powers. He didn't get struck by lightning or have a secret serum. Instead, he used his brainy invention, the Arc Reactor, to juice up his suits. And these suits? They were like a superpower smorgasbord. They gave him superhuman strength, the agility of a gymnast, endurance for days, the power of flight, and a whole arsenal of high-tech weaponry. By the time Avengers Endgame rolled around in 2019, Tony's suits had become incredibly sophisticated. Marvel even called them NANO-TECH suits. What's so cool about these is that they can literally form out of thin air. Talk about fashion on demand. Now here's where Iron Man really shines. In the battle against the all-powerful Thanos, Tony Stark proved his mettle. He was the third person to hold his ground against Thanos the longest, right after Thor and Doctor Strange. In fact, he even managed to give Thanos a little battle scar, a cut on the cheek. In Infinity War, Tony unveiled the Mark 50 suit, a tech marvel powered by artificial intelligence. This suit was like a shapeshifter. It could turn into new armor or weapons in the middle of a fight. Oh, and let's not forget all the nifty features his suits packed. They had a self-contained life support system and could keep him safe in all sorts of environments. The heads-up display gave him real-time information, and he could summon his suits to him from a distance. Plus, they were tough as nails, could analyze combat situations like pros, and had those famous repulsor and UNIBEAM blasts, not to mention missile launchers. Robert Downey Jr., the iconic actor behind Tony Stark Iron Man for a remarkable 13-year run, bid farewell to the suit after Avengers Endgame. But fret not, Iron Man enthusiasts, because the legacy of this beloved character is far from finished in Phase 4 of the MCU. While it's practically inconceivable to envision anyone else donning the Iron Man mantle, the Marvel What If series on Disney Plus has kept the character alive and kicking. The animated series delves into the multiverse, exploring countless alternate realities featuring our favorite Marvel heroes. In one of its episodes, voice actor Mick Wingert steps into the billionaire shoes of Tony Stark, delving into events between Iron Man 2 and the Avengers. Sure, some Marvel fans were a bit disappointed that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't returning to voice Stark in the series. However, the creators clarified that What If showcases different versions of Marvel characters, so RDJ's voice wasn't necessary to carry Iron Man's narrative forward. In this intriguing series, Tony Stark's fate takes an unexpected turn. Instead of joining the Avengers, he meets a rather unfortunate end at the hands of Black Widow, who administers a life-saving serum originally seen in Iron Man 2. What If bounces around various dimensions, offering deeper insights into characters like Doctor Strange and T'Challa Black Panther. As for the future plans of Marvel mastermind Kevin Feige concerning Iron Man, they remain shrouded in mystery. Nevertheless, Iron Man's fingerprints can be seen in recent Marvel films like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, and Spider-Man No Way Home. It's safe to say that we haven't seen the last of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in the MCU. In Shang-Chi, the Ten Rings organization, which once kidnapped Tony Stark, takes center stage, connecting to the mystic powers of the original Ten Rings that inspired this criminal group. In Tom Holland's Spider-Man No Way Home, we witnessed Peter Parker activating his iron spider suit from Avengers Infinity War with ease. This suggests that Tony Stark's legacy lives on, as the suit continues to protect Spider-Man from the likes of Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus. While Robert Downey Jr. may be embarking on new ventures, his iconic character will forever be a source of inspiration for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This marks the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and share it. Let us know your opinions in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.